What's going on, everyone? Welcome back into the Bears Den, an NFL podcast with the Chicago Bears first focus. I'm your host, Alex, here today doing one of my favorite series that I've been doing this entire year, my game picks. I've been doing this every single week. I've been keeping track of the records, my own record, and we are in week 18. It's extremely sad to think about already. This season has really been the quickest season in my life. It just feels like it's absolutely flown by, and you know, always really sad once football kind of comes to an end. And I know that we have, about a month left before the Super Bowl, but, regular season ending is always a very sad time for me as an NFL fan. With that being said, week 17 last week, I went to 8-8 in my picks. So it wasn't a losing week, but it also wasn't a winning week. Not great. But it's been a rough couple 3 weeks here doing these picks. I was on a huge, if you've been following all year, I was on a huge streak. I was on a 9-week streak of winning picks, and then a little tough stretch here right at the end to close out the regular season. But 8-8 last week, I'm now sitting at a record of 151 and 105. So we're still looking pretty good, and we will go ahead, we'll get into it. I'm using the Playoff Predictors website, as I always do. The last picks of the regular season for 2024-2025 NFL. Let's get into it. I'm going to start with the NFC today. Been doing the AFC picks first all the time. I'm going to switch it up. We're going to go with the NFC. Bears, Packers. I'm going to go with the Packers here. I think the Bears are, unfortunately, looking forward to the offseason already, looking ahead to finding a new head coach and potentially a new general manager. And I think Green Bay is fighting. They don't control their own destiny for the 6th seed. If Washington wins this week, Green Bay will be the 7th seed, but they still need to win this game just in case. And it will be a big game for both teams. Obviously, the Bears want to beat the Packers, but I do think some of the players on the team have probably mentally checked out for the Bears. Washington on the road in Dallas. Washington is in the playoffs. If they win this game, I think. Oh no, they're already in. Excuse me, they're already in. They clinched last week. I think that Washington will probably win this game. Similar story with Dallas. I'm sure they want to play spoiler, but I'm sure some of the team is already looking at the off season. It's been a really rough, disappointing season for them, and we'll see if Mike McCarthy survives after this week. Saints on the road, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, this is a massive game. If they win, they're in. I like Tampa Bay in this game here. I think Baker's going to get it done. Atlanta, massive game. They need it. And they need a Bucks loss to win the South. I think that they'll win with Penix, but I just don't think that it will matter because I think Tampa's going to get the win. Philly, Giants. This one doesn't really matter. Philly's benching their starters, so I would expect. I expect it to be a close game. I think the Giants will probably take it just because Philly's playing their backups. But that one doesn't really matter too much. Rams Seahawks. This game also does not matter. The Rams are in. Rams are playing their backups. Because of that, I think Seattle will probably get the win. San Francisco, Arizona. Another game that is useless for this week. Brock Purdy's out. I'm gonna go with Arizona here. Biggest game of the year. I'm going to save that pick for last. I'm saving that pick for last. Ravens and Cincinnati. This game matters big time for the Ravens because they are fighting for the AFC North title. So if I believe it's not clinched. Let's say if Cleveland wins, Pittsburgh wins the division. So this game is extremely important. I think Baltimore wins. I think they'll lock up the division with that win. And I do think Cincinnati will actually beat Pittsburgh, and it will make it very, very interesting here. We'll see what happens with the rest of these picks. We'll see if they end up squeezing into the playoffs in my scenario. But you know, as I always say when I do these videos, I know some of the games coming up. Like, obviously, I know who the Bears are playing this week. I knew that Minnesota and Detroit were playing, and a couple other matchups. But some of these games, I am seeing who's playing who live as I'm recording this right now. So I am coming up with these picks on the spot. Houston and Tennessee, this game doesn't really matter. Uh, Houston's locked into the 4th seed, so I would assume they're probably playing their backups. Um, with that being said, I think Tennessee can. Well, no, I'm going to pick Houston because Davis Mills is serviceable, and I think he'll be able to get it done. Jacksonville, Indy, Indy, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't really matter too much. Um, that's the thing with Week 18 games. A lot of the games don't really have that much impact. New England and Baltimore. New England loses this game. I think they clinched the first overall pick. So this is a big game for New England to lose. And Buffalo doesn't really matter. So I think, I mean, how crazy would it be if New England wins this game? I think the Bills will win because I think even if Mitch plays, the Bills, they should still be able to win. But that would be crazy if New England won and cost themselves the first pick. Raiders, Chargers. I think the Chargers will win this one because they'll be playing for a wild card spot, so they will be playing, and for seeding, not for a spot. So they'll be playing, and the Raiders are in full tank mode. They're trying to potentially secure the first pick as well. So, well, I guess they can't because there are 4 wins, but they're trying to secure a high pick as well. And then Chiefs Broncos. This is a massive game for Denver. If they win this, they're in, and I believe Cincinnati's out. I think Denver wins this against the backups, but I don't know, right? I don't know for certain. Part of me wants to say the Chiefs are going to win this game. I just have this really strong feeling that Cincinnati's meant to make the playoffs. I'm picking the Chiefs here. I'm picking the Chiefs. That's gonna put the Bengals in, and I think if Miami were to win here, then Miami's in and the Bengals are out. But I think the Jets win at home. Aaron Rodgers' potential final game. I think him and Devontae Adams are gonna have a couple big connections this week, and I just think this is going to be an absolute collapse by Denver. Um, to have the playoffs in their hands really 2 weeks in a row and to lose it both times is going to be crazy. And then biggest game of the year for the NFC North and for the first seed. The loser of this game will be a 14-win 5 seed, which is going to be crazy. They're going to have to be going on the road round 1 in the playoffs. I like the Minnesota Vikings in this one. I know it's crazy. If you watched my video at the start of the year when I went through and I picked every single game, it's kind of like a prediction. I thought Minnesota was going to be terrible. I think I had them at 5 wins. And now I have them winning this game, and they'll be 15-2, and they'll be the first seed. I just think Detroit's injuries have them a tier below Minnesota currently. I think both teams healthy, Detroit is the better team, but I think right now Minnesota is stronger. They have momentum. Sam Darnold has been playing very, very well, and the injuries are going to hurt Detroit. And I just think that it's going to be crazy. It's a 14-win 5 seed. I can't remember a time seeing something like that. This division has been crazy. The NFC is really strong this year, but yeah, that's it. So that is it for the regular season picks. We'll see how we do, and then we will be doing the playoff picks, talking playoffs and everything like that. I appreciate you guys listening as always. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out in trying to grow this channel, and I appreciate all the support. I read the comments, I see them, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Bear down. I will see you in the next video. Peace.